Hi Taurus, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. The first weekly readings we're doing for a couple of weeks here. I have been away on holiday. There is still a couple of all signs videos from last week. You can go back and check those out, especially that shadow work reading for the full moon. That was quite an extensive one for January, so you may want to check that one out. But please subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all that sort of stuff. And I do really appreciate that as well. This week we are using the Spirit of the Animal Oracle deck, the Lenormand deck. We have the modern Lenormand, and then I also have the Romantic Fairy Love Oracle. Okay, so getting into it for you, Taurus, keeping in mind with this Spirit of the Animal Oracle, when you do see your animal, if there are any, particular things popping into your mind in regard to that animal, behavior, traits, the color may feel significant to you, all those sorts of things, pay attention to those, because this deck really does like everyone to use their intuition as well. So make sure you do pay attention to what pops up for you. Obviously in any kind of reading we're taking what resonates and leaving the rest, of course. But Taurus, what's going on for Taurus? What does Taurus need to know? Taurus, what do you need to know right now? Oh, we have the leopard for you, Taurus. Isn't that a cute little leopard? It is actually a snow leopard, it says there. A snow leopard. So I do just kind of feel too, because on the bottom of the deck we've got the personal choice card, which has this image of a large snow-capped mountain. So paying attention to that word snow seems somehow significant here, Taurus. There may be a need for you, or you're being perceived as this week being a little bit cold and frosty kind of energy. So I feel like it's more a need to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more cold, rather than so, warm and giving and loving. There may actually be a need for you to be just a little bit, standoffish and cold presenting this week. Maybe not giving too much of your energy to others, just standing back a little bit and observing, rather than jumping on in and giving. Just that cold energy coming through here a little bit here. It does talk about self-reliance as well. So that obviously is somehow linked with that coldness. It can present as, coldness, or, being a bit more reserved, or standoffish. But, it feels like you're protecting your own self, and you're relying on you, rather than, being so warm and bubbly and giving, and that you're relying on other people's energy this week. It does say you are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. So there's a little bit of moving in the shadows energy there as well. Camouflaging, just hiding in the background a little bit. So, not standing out with your warmth this week, Taurus. Hiding in the background a little bit, and just sort of standing back and watching and observing, blending in a little bit there, cloaking yourself with invisibility and walking with the shamans. So, often solitary. So you are sort of off by yourself this week, just paying attention and watching things around you, just being the silent observer. So just independence, standing up tall and strong by yourself, looking after yourself. But it does say integrity is important for your best outcome. So maintaining your integrity this week as well. So there's just something about you separating yourself from the people around you this week, and rather than being heavily involved and giving and taking, you're actually stepping back and just watching, and sort of moving in the shadows a little bit here this week, Taurus. Okay, Taurus, what's going on for our Taurus? What does Taurus need to know right now? What? Just clarify the why on that fourth card for Taurus, please. Why is that relevant for Taurus? That fourth card specifically, please. Once again, on the bottom of the deck there, we have the fox, which is talking once again about that independence energy, really standing aside at the moment, Taurus, and being very intelligent and rational and really thinking things through very clearly, looking at things, from an outer perspective rather than, being heavily drawn into things this week, just stepping back a little bit. We do have the letter coming through first for you. So there is some sort of, I feel like it's an invitation more than anything. It could just be some sort of, like a text message, some sort of communication, someone, talking to you in person, some sort of message that you're receiving this week. But it does feel along the lines of an invitation, because the next card out is the Garden. Okay, and the Garden talks about meetings and places to meet, getting out socially. It's a social sort of energy, but it does talk about meetings. I can see here who you are going to be, this invitation to meet up with somebody or meet somebody halfway. Somebody may want you to compromise a little bit with them. It could be an invitation to, like some sort of event or party. Sometimes the Garden does talk about that sort of stuff. It can be a date, like the Garden is my date card. So this may actually be some sort of proposition, proposal to, come on a date with me, a message asking you out on a date, that kind of thing. I feel as though it's not something that you straight away kind of know, yes or no, you're going to go and attend this or whatever. I feel like you, more than anything, it's just sort of, it's a question rather than a set, you're going to this meeting. It's kind of more along the lines of here, it's a question being presented to you. Will you come on this date? Will you come meet us at the coffee shop? Will you come spend some time, out in public? We do see the child coming through there as well. So for some of you, this may be with an actual child, whether that child is, an adult already. It may be because, in this particular deck, we do see the mother and child. So for a lot of you, it may be actually a mother and a child, or like a parent and a child, just sort of showing us that the child is somehow heavily influencing this meeting taking place. So, once again, it could be some sort of event like a child's birthday party or some sort of event involving children. For those of you where it's not actually coming through as an actual child, the person who is inviting you, the person that is, presenting this offer, asking you to come meet up with them, they definitely could be somebody that you sort of perceive in some way as childlike, whether you see them as, a little bit innocent or a little bit naive to the world, or whether that's more along the lines of maybe you see them as a little bit immature. It does sort of talk about that spontaneity. Come and meet up with me. Come and do something. It's a bit of an adventurous card, the child card. So it could be being, invited to go meet up with somebody for an adventure, for some sort of new beginning here as well. Somebody, that may be part of the message as well. Like, can we meet here somewhere in order to meet halfway with each other, and have some sort of new beginning, like start over, meet in the middle, compromise, and start over from there sort of energy. It does set you off into this clouds energy, Taurus, which is you sort of thinking about the situation. So you're not necessarily straight away knowing yes or no, I'm going to this or I'm not going to this. It's something that you actually think about. And like I said, with that self-reliance, and then the independence there, and the intelligence there with the fox as well. You're thinking it through pretty clearly. You're using your rational brain to really think about this situation and whether it's going to be in your best interest to do so. I am seeing a lot of spades energy as well. So that spades energy, there may be something to do with spades connecting to this as well. So I've got 6, 7, 8, Jack and King. So you're in the king energy over here. You're thinking things through very clearly and logically. This person inviting you out, they're a Jack energy, so they do present as, slightly someone who is slightly, less mature than you, in some way, shape, or form here. And then we do have the 6, 7, and the 8, like I said, so that may be relevant somehow to some of the situations there as well. But the clouds energy there, you're really thinking it through. You're thinking through what are the best possible outcomes, what are the worst possible outcomes from actually attending this meeting. So you're really clearly thinking this through before you actually do come to some sort of decision. It does kind of show me, when I have clarified that, we do have the clover coming through there as well. Okay, and so the clover. The clover is the Sagittarius card. So this person may be a Sagittarius, but it ultimately, it just shows us that, whatever you decide, luck is on your side, and you do have the ability to sort of jump on in the deep end here and take a chance, take a risk to go through with this meeting and sort of see where that leads you. But it just sort of really does focus on for you this week, making sure we think things through clearly and we're observing rather than just sort of jumping straight in. Even though we are taking that risk, it's a measured risk, okay, because of the clouds there and such a logical, rational way of thinking for you this week, Taurus. You're really thinking things through before you do jump in the deep end. I'm going to make sure that the risk is worth taking before I just jump on in and take that risk. So although it may still feel like a bit of a risk, you've kind of prepared yourself to know that, the most likely outcome is that this risk will be worth taking. This chance on this person is worth taking. So I'm going to jump on in and take the chance. All right, so a lot of you, I do feel, I dare say, you will sort of eventually meet up with this person. It's just a matter of really, really thinking very logically this week, and like I said, observing and using your integrity and your powers of observation and whatnot to really, and the logic and the rational side of things, to think things through very clearly this week before you are making decisions. So no rash decisions for you this week, Taurus. You are thinking things through very clearly. Okay, love and romance for our Taurus. What's going on for Taurus with love and romance? Love and romance for our Taurus. What does Taurus need to know in regards to love and romance? I'm actually getting two cards here that do feel as though they do link to that main message. Firstly, we have the disguise card. And that's your energy, Taurus, or it's like a recommendation of what you need to do here. Some elements of this relationship are hidden. So I don't feel as though it's necessarily the relationship. This is you. This is you in that snow leopard energy, that camouflage energy where you are making sure that you, because this may actually be something that goes against your intrinsical nature. I am picking up from you, Taurus. You may, normally you're very warm and giving, but this week you are just being a little bit more cold and distant and logical rather than sort of jumping straight on into things. You are, putting on this a mask where you're trying to be a little bit more mature and logical about the way that you're approaching things this week. So I do feel like that's your energy. And then we have rekindle. An old flame returns. So this person that you're receiving this letter from, like I said, I did mention that it may be sort of, meeting and then having a new beginning from there. So for some of you, this is actually a rekindling kind of energy, someone that, you maybe had a bit of a falling out with, and maybe even connected to love for a couple of you here as well. So, I did ask specifically for love, but this does feel very connected to that the entirety of your message here. So, for some of you, it's going to be platonic, and others of you, it may actually be connected to love, like somebody from your past, somebody that you've maybe had some sort of a falling out with, or you've just sort of gone separate ways, that sort of thing. And that may be where you're receiving this message this week, and come meet up with me. And that's why you're sort of maybe thinking it through very clearly, because you're like, oh, I haven't seen this person for a while. Is it really in my best interest to actually follow through on this and spend time with this person, or would I be better to just continue this current status of nothingness? We do have perfect match coming through here as well. My Nicki Minaj card. It looks like Nicki Minaj, does it not? But we're feeling this is kind of separate for a lot of you here as well. So this is just specifically for love and romantic connections there, that you are connected to somebody. You complete each other in the most harmonious way. So it's just sort of giving you that, yes, you are the perfect match. Okay, Taurus, so that's what we have for you this week. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys all again soon.